Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. It is the What Are We Doing Here podcast where we chat about whatever we want. So I haven't even put a title. I've literally not put a title about anything. We got Perchy as always. He's to the, that feels weird. I was going to say to the left of me, but when I'm pointing in my room, that's going right. And to the left of me on my right is Chris. It's all very weird. Gentlemen, how are you? And welcome to the Chat About Whatever We Want podcast. How are we? We good?
I'm all good. Thank you very much.
Good. Chris, can you bring a little bit more energy than that sucky, miserable bastard? Or like,
Mate,
you know, can we...
I'm thrilled by the daily grind of searching for a new job. But aside from that, look, on the good news side, this is genuinely good news. I've had 8 months of pain trying to sell my flat. And today I got an email from my solicitor saying, can you come in to sign the contract for completion? So I am absolutely excited. And
we like big wins on this channel.
Be a bloody big win when the money comes into my account, mate. That'll be a big win.
I look forward to the sizable super chat that might be heading my way then when you're when the money has dropped into your account. I look forward to it.
I mean, I do need to buy somewhere else when I get it. I mean, it's not. I need to live.
Yeah,
somewhere.
but surely my super chat is more important than a new house, right? Surely that's just the way.
Well, if I can move into a spare room, mate, then yes, sure.
Yeah. So you've bought a place, Perchy. You're about to move into a new place, right? This is all very exciting.
Technically have moved in, but decorating, not officially moved in properly yet. But yeah, I have got the keys and redecorating at the moment. It's fun.
And are you any good with decorating? I know, like, people like to give it a go, but do you enjoy it? Are you good at it, or is
my cousin called himself a semi-pro painter the other day. He's helping me. I was like, I've never heard anyone like use the term semi-professional painter.
What does that mean? Surely you're either a painter or you're not. Like
it basically means he played for Dorking Wanderers and decorated their changing rooms. He didn't get an opportunity to go and decorate like Charlton Athletic and then work up to like the Premier League. No, he does it as a bit of a side job, a bit of a side hustle. But yeah, it was all good. We're getting through it. Lovely mercury grey colour. That's the colour we've got.
So like the colour of your top. Is that
no? Don't. Let's not have a go at the top. The top's the top.
Can I just say, your top right now reminds me. I don't know if anyone remembers. Do you remember that thing a couple of years ago? And it was like, what colour is this dress? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah.
And it was.
Is that the question that you put on the chat?
No, isn't it like? Wasn't it gold or blue or something like that?
Yeah.
I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, what do you think of Perchy's top? 5 words, no more, no less.
He's a couple of Velcro sponsorships away from going to play darts, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, there we go.
Exactly.
Okay, change it up. People in the chat, what would Perchy's darts name be? You know, like Phil the Power Taylor. What would Perchy's Jack the something Perchard? Like, what would it be?
Give them a government name and everything.
That'll be the Ripper, surely.
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, that's probably not
Jack the Ripper. That would go down well. That would go down well. I like
Toad's comment. Perchy's a semi-professional YouTuber. I kind of like that one. I'll take that one.
Yeah. This is true.
I think he's over-egged that massively, isn't he?
Do you know what, Tony? The thing is, Perchy knows everything inside and out about how YouTube works. Like all of the tricks and the flicks and he's very creative, but you know, when he's not painting, he's working, and when he's not working, he's drinking, and when he's not drinking,
don't drink anymore. Don't try.
You don't drink anymore.
Just on the odd occasions, very odd occasions. I don't do escapades like before anymore.
Okay.
I'm getting too old for that.
Okay. All right. Good. I suppose we should talk about some football. Big up to everyone. If you haven't pressed the like button, please do. We've got to do the admin, haven't we? Please learn where your nearest fire escape is. Grab yourself some food, a drink, sit down, and enjoy the show. We'll talk about whatever you guys want. I'm sure we'll navigate our way through. And then at 8 p.m. tonight, the Spurs 5 is back. Rumours that the Spurs 5 were no longer. Don't know where they came from. Not true. We're live tonight at 8 p.m. I've seen it floating around YouTube. The Spurs 5 have gone. No, Literally, we had 2 shows we didn't put on because 3 people were on holiday and it was the international break. But apparently means the Spurs 5 is dead. Long live the Spurs 5. Chris, let's start with you. Everyone likes starting with you, the old referee. Everyone likes starting with you. Chris, what's going on? Why is International Week so shit? There's my first question. Why?
I'm going to start with some breaking international news that's super exciting.
Go on.
Cape Verde are winning, and if they win this match, that Cape Verde will qualify for the World Cup.
No.
Yeah, I know. I do. Cape Verde needed, I think they needed 1 more win to qualify. That's basically like, that's like a derby for Savva if England play Cape Verde. That's like holiday versus home.
Well, yeah, look, I'm just looking at the league table as it stands right now. So Cape Verde are top by 4 points as it stands.
It's teeny, right?
And this is their last group game, right? This has got to be the last group game. So fair play. So even if Cape Verde lose, which they're not, even if Cape Verde lose, they'll still go into the lowest they can drop is to 2nd place. Yeah,
but they go in, I think if we go 2nd, they have to go into a playoff. They win the game means they qualify automatically to the World Cup.
They will be the 2nd smallest nation ever to play in the World Cup.
I love it. I'm just.
Do we know the smallest?
Huh?
Do we know who the smallest nation was to play in the World Cup?
Iceland.
Oh, Perchy just ruins it by getting it right.
Yes, I'm so smart, man.
Who was it? Iceland.
Iceland. See, you can't. If you go, quiz things is my thing.
Yeah, Tony. Yes, you know how much I love my Cape Verde. Who can tell me the most famous person who was born in Cape Verde to play in the Premier League?
Oh, good question. That's a great question.
Off the top of my head, this one. Anyone? Tony, I'm expecting you in the chat to know this. The most famous. By the way, when I'm saying the most famous, I've christened him the most famous, but I can't imagine there's too many.
The only one, right?
So he didn't play international football for Cape Verde, but he was born in Cape Verde.
Oh, that's a
Neil Fenn.
So, who? Neil Fenn?
I'm just throwing out random names.
You think
mate.
Neil Fenn was
that's
born
a very
in Cape
Cape
Verde?
Name that.
Maybe
he played. Here you go. Here's a clue. Here's a clue. He played for Manchester United as a winger. He played as a winger for Manchester United.
Oh, this is a very, very good question.
As a winger. By the way, Cape Verde were 1-0 up. They've only gone and scored a second. Cape Verde are 2-0 up and are qualifying for the World Cup. And it is.
Can I ask a question? Because I think I know the answer. Oh, if you just put it up, that's what I was going to say, Nanny.
It is Nanny. Nanny was born in. Nanny is officially Cape Verdean.
So talking about Ryan Giggs, that famous Cape Verdean. Big up Ryan.
Hold on. Hold on a minute.
Lee Sharp, by the way, who when I was growing up was better than Ryan Giggs. He was talked about as being. What?
We need a VAR here.
On what?
According to Wikipedia, Nanny was born in Amadora, which is in Lisbon.
Telling you, not true. Telling you, when you go to
got cards.
Hang on. Can we actually send him off? There was actually another Manchester United player that actually plays for Cape Verde. Get that red card up. Bebe played for Cape Verde. Red card for Savva. Stinker.
But sorry. At what stage is he better? Here you go. Look, early life. Nanny was born on the
never played for
November.
There's been 3 Cape Verdeans that played in the Premier League.
And he is of Cape Verdean descent. He is of Cape Verdean descent.
This has all got a bit controversial, isn't it?
No. Okay, guys, there's been 3 Cape Verdeans that have played in the Premier League. One of them is Bebe. I'll give you that one. If anyone without cheating can get the other 2, let's see if you can get the other 2. They're very hard. But if you can get a respect, if anyone can get the other 2 without cheating.
No, I'm only joking. No, I'm on. Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to Google it.
What?
I won't give the answer away. Cape
What, the one
Verde.
I could tell you in the chat, the private chat, if you want the answer.
That's all right. I'm good. I'm just Googling. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
And I'll get all of them have played since 2000 and onwards. That makes it a little bit easier. They're not really old.
Oh,
If
hang on.
anyone can get all three of them, that's incredible.
Oh, God knows. I've just got a list of famous Cape Verdean footballers in front of me, and I don't know most of them. I like how the "What Are We Doing Here" podcast has started by a segment on Cape Verde. This is new.
We are now the head Cape Verdeans in the the head Cape Verdean YouTube channel. This is.
Go on, give us one of
Cape
them.
Verde TV.
Okay, I'll give you one of them because it's probably I would be amazed if anyone got it. The first one, his name is Pele.
He played for Southampton.
He played for Southampton in the Championship, but went to West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League.
Oh wow!
And then he went. He went from Southampton, West Brom, Falkirk, MK Dons, Northwich Victoria, Hendersfield Town, Hayes and Yedding, Havant and Waterlooville, and then Tottenham. He was a centre half. He played for Cape Verde for 11 appearances. Oh, someone has got it in the chat, but I feel like is he cheating?
Is it this?
The other one was Cabral, but who did he play for? Cabral played for Sunderland's a massive club. He played one game. He played one game.
Wow.
So
well, there you go.
I know Perchy loves his...
Googled it. Don't give me that when you didn't Google it. He played one appearance for Sunderland in the Premier League. Behave. I'm not having it.
Don't worry, Angus. Angus, he didn't play for Arsenal. We wouldn't expect you to know anything. You've seen Angus in the chat for years, right?
I do love Angus. What a lovely, funny guy.
Because I love Angus, but any question you throw out there, the answer comes back to Arsenal in some way, shape, or form. You go, who's the best defender to play in the Premier League? Oh, it's Lee Dixon. No, it's not. No, it is. It's Dixon and Winterburn or Lauren or Sol Campbell. Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, that was interesting, wasn't it? That was an interesting one, guys.
Do you want a random Premier League fact?
Sure.
A lad I went to school with in the year below, he played in the Premier League, but you'll never have heard of him in a million years. Played for Derby.
Go on.
He scored a goal. He's actually now chairman of the aforementioned Hensford Town that Perchy just butchered the pronunciation of. There's a guy called Marvin Robinson.
Marvin Robinson.
He sounds like he was a hard-working midfielder.
Striker.
Marvin Henderson. Marvin Robinson in midfield. Nice guy.
Sounds like a soul singer. You're listening to the smooth sounds of Marvin Robinson.
Made his debut against Arsenal at Highbury.
Yeah. Must be why you've not won the title for 20 years with all those world-class players you've had over the years, Angus. Must be. Must be, mustn't it?
Must be painful that we won a trophy before, in your greatest moments that you've been loving life, Angus, with your world-class players. Must kill you that crappy Ange won a trophy with shitty Spurs before your team. Let that sink in.
It's exactly. Hang on. Oh, Florian Plettenberg's just said something about Tottenham. Shall I bring it up?
Oh, we've got news. Breaking news on the What Are We Doing Here podcast. Breaking news.
We've got news. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like it's anything we didn't know, but sure, let's do it. Let's bring this up, shall we? Here we go. It's about Paulinho. And it says, as you can see here, Tottenham can genuinely, I like this, not disingenuously, but genuinely see themselves triggering the 25 to 30 million euro buy option for João Paulinho. Thomas Frank is a big fan and has an excellent relationship with him. A return to Bayern Munich appears unlikely. They have not yet been concrete talks between Bayern and Tottenham, but there is a first positive trend. We'll come back to that. The loan has been a success so far. Paulinho is happy again. Guys, would anyone like to translate but there is a first positive trend. Would anyone like to tell me what that means in transfer
Sure,
terms?
I'll translate this for human from transfer stuff. Spurs have been impressed with Paulinho and want to buy him. That's
Chris,
how I
can you
see
beat that? Can you beat that from Perchy?
Yeah, but we don't think he's shit.
it.
Spurs don't think Paulinho is shit, prepared to pay 25 million euros for his services. Yeah, like it.
I love it. Can we do this more often? Can we start talking things of first positive trends? Can we start doing that? Can we start calling things the first positive?
I thought you were going to say, can we start talking about Cape Verde more often? But fair enough.
Yeah, 25 million euros. Let's be fair, that's a bargain, isn't it, for a player of this caliber?
Hold on a minute. I have to say, I was on a show, not on this reputable channel, but on a different channel a couple of weeks ago, having this discussion, and someone a lot younger than me genuinely said that we shouldn't pay that for him because he's far too old, and in his words, coming to the end of his 30s, when in fact he just turned 30 in July. So there are people out there who don't think it's value for money.
Can we name and shame? Are we doing that? Because that's the one of the worst. That is an absolute dreadful take, by the way. Like, that is dreadful.
Yeah, are we surprised? I mean, let's be fair. This is the fan base where most of the fan base did not want Jack Grealish. Can we?
Oh,
that's the year before, right? Fans didn't want Rafinha, right? We had people turning their nose up at Locatelli. People didn't want Paulinho and Grealish. Can we just take these moments for a second and realize that there is a problem with everyone we try and sign? But yet you talk about some of the poorer players we sign, and they get defended more than a Jose Mourinho team defends their goal, right? Don't they? You talk about Tellen Odegaard and people go, oh, well, you talk about Grealish, and I'm not sure he's right for.
Oh, don't. It's crazy. Like, the age thing I find incredible, by the way. We've got, and this is unfortunately this sort of era where everyone thinks you have to buy 18, 20-year-olds because they've got some, like, this attitude that they've got this shelf life and everything, right? What I think Paulinho, dare I say, it's been our best player this season.
It's literally my football manager philosophy. Like, player turns 30 and I'm like, I best start to get him out.
Yeah, true. That's why we should probably sign someone like Alex Scott.
We're still talking about Alex Scott. By the way, yeah, on Data MB, they've put their top wingers this year, by the way. So far, the top rated wingers in the Premier League, both on 91 out of 100, are Mohamed Kudus and Jack Grealish.
Oh, wow. Where's Doku on that list? Because I would have thought he'd be up there on that list somewhere.
Doku is 15th.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I do you know what? I think he is superb, by the way. I said this a couple of years ago, right? Now, he's one of those that I don't look at his output and go, wow, you're amazing. But what a footballer. Like, if he can really hone that in, he is unplayable, isn't he? He really is.
Oh, I think Doku's one of those football players. He was one that he falls into that bracket, of don't judge too soon brackets, right? Everyone does it, right? 5 games in and you're either you're a world class or dog shit. He was one of those that came in, everyone went, he's crap, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I went, just give him a season, right? And I said, I'll watch him play. He on the ball, he's something else.
I don't know if there's a more classical Tottenham type of player than Jack Grealish, by the way. I think he embodies everything that Spurs stand for.
Great. Yeah. I talked about him all summer. This, for me, was an absolute no-brainer, right? And for all the people that didn't want him, well, they've got what they wanted. They've got Tellen Odegaard out there, so they kind of got what they wanted. But can you imagine Grealish, Xavi Simons, and Kudus in a free behind, let's just say Mawani? We'll talk about him a bit later. But what a nice forward four that is, right? I just think for me, we were talking about this all summer, right, Savva, about Grealish. Again, Jack Grealish fell into the no-brainer category, and people were going, nah. I hear the notion that he's a drunk all the time, which I find absolutely mental. Young lad celebrates winning a treble when he gets blasted as an alcoholic drunk. Like,
Give it a rest. Like,
I
not how
don't even think that's justified. Like,
I don't either. It's bullshit, mate. Is what it
as
is.
far as I'm aware, right? Yeah, right. He's gone out on the lash a couple of times when they've like won leagues, but I don't recall that ever being kind of night before a game. I don't recall any managers ever complaining about his attitude. He also seems like a fucking nice guy, by the way. All the stuff he does for fans and disabled kids and whatever. I don't get it.
If you speak to people that actually work within Man City, and I'm not speaking directly, but people who've done podcasts that work with Man City in whatever, like media roles and stuff, they say the one player that will always stop no matter what's going on is Jack Grealish. And he said you'll have some players that they don't want to, maybe because they're not their natural language is in English, so they just don't feel necessarily comfortable. But he said no matter what, if they're busy, Grealish will stop and talk to you as a person, right? Like, oh, you're right, mate, how's it going? Blah blah blah. May not stop for ages, but he said the one thing this notion that he's this sort of party boy and all this lot, I think it's really, really lazy arguments because they've seen him have a few beers after winning a treble. Like pretending like none of us.
But it was funny when we all saw Son drunk on the bus. Shouting at people. That was okay because he was our player. But when let's be fair, you've won the treble. Like when you win the treble, surely as a footballer in that night, you know the only way you're topping that feeling is to win the World Cup. Don't you? Like surely, is there a better feeling in football than, all right, you've won the league, you've won the FA Cup, you then top it off with the treble. And now because of that, it's he's a drunk, he's a mess.
Let's be fair with it, right? You're right. And I think the key bit for me, no one complained when all the Spurs players, after winning the Europa League, all came out and said, we had about 2 hours sleep.
They're all pissed on the Sunday against Brighton, allegedly.
They were all pissed against Brighton and the league hadn't even finished, right? Like, but a load of them came out. I think it was it may not have been Van der Ven, right? It may not have been Van der Ven, but I'll say it was him. I think it was him that said he went, I think he went, I think I went to bed about 4 a.m. and had to wake up at 6 to get on a flight back to the UK, back to London, because we've got a game against Brighton. And then they had the parade. So, we had to go to the parade. And he said, I've had about 3 hours sleep. Yep. We knocked players like Jack Grealish for winning a treble. The season had finished when they won their treble, by the way. Season was done, weren't it? And I think the key bit for me is it's different in season. So many players talk about, look, in the off season, we can kind of do within respect, do what we want. Justifiably, we can do what we want. But the second we go back to pre-season, we stop drinking, we stop eating crap. Harry Kane was one, I think, said it. He said pre-season, when pre-season hits, I stop drinking. I'll drink on the off-season, but I will stop drinking at pre-season. And a lot of players follow that model.
I still, by the way, I still, not that I really care now, but that last game against Brighton is baffling to me. Like, if they really were drunk, why play them? It meant nothing, the game. So I don't see the problem if Ange had come out and said, you know what, they've been partying a little bit. They're a little bit worse for wear. We're just going to throw the kids in. I
didn't understand that.
I agree with that one.
Yeah.
You're
right.
I think they must have picked the ones that were the least affected. I don't think they were drinking. I don't think they went out partying after the parade, though. From what I read.
But let's be honest, Perchy, I don't think you remember an awful lot from after the final at Bilbao for about the next couple of days.
I remember everything after Bilbao. It was amazing. I was dancing with Phil P in the pouring rain.
Let's be brutally honest. For about 18 months, we looked like we were playing pissed, didn't we? So
to be fair, the Brighton game, that's a good point, to be fair.
That didn't really bother me. Like, it was like people going, oh, we've lost because of no, we didn't. We lost because we don't win games of football. What are we talking about? But anyway, Jack Grealish didn't. He went to Everton and he's doing very, very well there. By the way, somebody has just pointed out, Ben Davies is about to win his 100th international cap. Imagine being Ben Davies, right? He's probably got more caps for Wales than appearances as a footballer in club football. I'm being facetious, of course, but that's a great. That's good for him, right? 100 caps at any level is really good, lads, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially international level as well. To get 100 caps in international football is very good.
Is it on the telly box? Does anyone know? I never know what's on what channel anymore.
Sorry, hang on, can we slow down a bit? Did you call it the telly box?
Yeah, the telly box.
How old are you?
The telly box.
The television.
I've got a friend that calls it a telly box for a laugh, and I just think it's quite funny. So, do we know if it's on? Anyone know?
Always on mine with the super reliable Fire Stick that I have.
You don't know? No. We do all things by the book here.
By the way, if there is FA Cup action on,
is there?
Worthing versus Forest Green Rovers, and who's the manager of Forest Green Rovers?
Robbie Savage.
Robbie Savage. He's doing well there, isn't he? Oh, really Robbie Savage.
League, aren't they? I think they're top.
Are they top?
I mean, they should be top though. They should be winning the national. I mean, they got relegated down from there. Should be.
Yeah, right? But should, would, could, did.
Oh,
you know.
Wow. So wait, what game did you want to watch? Wales versus Belgium. I had you down as North Macedonia versus Kazakhstan kind of guy.
North Macedonia, by the way, also ripping it up in their.
They actually are, aren't they? They're top of their group with.
They're going to
with Belgium and Wales.
Yeah,
and I've not lost a game.
Very interesting. God, Matt's in here. Desperately defending Ange. Somebody mentioned Ange. We weren't even taking the piss out of Ange, and he's in here. He's desperately defending his man.
Now the one that got me. What did he say? Oh, what was when he said? He said something like, "That's unprofessional." It's the unprofessional one, weren't it? That got me. This one. It's unprofessional.
Matt, have a day off
in the Europa League.
Yeah.
I mean,
there will be people, Terry, that don't know what you're talking about here, mate. But yes, for anyone who remembers back in the day when people would rent their TV from like Littlewoods and you'd
radio rentals.
Radio rentals. And people used to rent their televisions from like Littlewoods or radio rentals, and you'd put money in the back of the TV to make it work.
Wait, you had a pay-as-you-go TV?
Like, wow. I didn't. Terry obviously did. Terry O'Shea is here admitting he did. Surely you guys remember that, right?
No, I'm not that old.
Hang on, let me go.
I feel like I'm getting old, but a pay-as-you-go TV.
Here we go.
I like the idea.
Radio rentals TV. Let me have a look and see if I can find pictures of the TVs with the money on the back.
We should have pay-as-you-go YouTube streams. So you lot in the chat can just pay your way to watch us.
Oh, wow. So something like this, right? Something like this. It was not this exact one, but it's this concept, right? Here we go. Can you see it? Where it's got the old slot for the money on the side?
Oh, that's amazing. Definitely not my... That looks like the sort of thing you get in a really dodgy hotel.
Look at those TV. Oh, my God. Chris, you're old. You probably got one of these knocking about in your house somewhere, in you?
Mate, I tell you what, if my job search doesn't pick up, I'll be getting them back in again at this rate.
Look at the, oh my gosh, how old school. Radio rentals. Well, there's one for all the younger people in the audience. If you don't know, if you don't remember radio rentals.
If you don't know, get to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't worry, Savva, I'll do it. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll do it. Yeah, oh my God, old school. Yeah, Terry, you've been rumbled, mate. I didn't have one, but I remember, I didn't. One of my mates did, and I remember being at his house watching a game when we were little, and like it just went, boom. We're like, what's happened? We run out of what? Electricity? No, we run out of money. He's phoning up his mum.
Speaking of being rumbled, one of the other brands that you could rent stuff off was Rumbelows, wasn't it? Who sponsored the League Cup for about a year or two.
Rumbelows. Let's have a look at Rumbelows TV.
Perchy's just looking really confused about life.
At least we can get to a situation of this.
Right? Everyone who's so, oh my God, look at Rumbelows. Look at Rumbelows. Here we go. Look at this. This is brilliant. Look at there's an old Rumbelows store with all its TVs everywhere. Look at that.
They sponsored the League Cup, Perchy. I'm going to say that when Sheffield Wednesday beat Man United 1-0, about 91-ish, I reckon that was the Rumbelows Cup.
Rumbelows Cup, yeah. God, the Rumbelows. Wow. Who remembers that?
Wow.
Yeah. And you think now we all get annoyed if you like, you know, when you flick through the 999 channels we've all got and you can't find anything to watch. Imagine in the days where it was, I've got channel 1 to 4. I remember when it was 1 to 4. I remember the day channel 5 went live. Do you remember that, Chris?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was all the Spice Girls and everything when it launched, wasn't it? Yeah.
Channel. It was like a 5th channel. This is amazing. A 5th channel. I've got 5 options of what to watch.
It was absolutely full of shite, wasn't it? Channel 5 when it first launched. It was absolutely terrible.
What was El Dorado on? Does anyone remember
BBC
El
One,
Dorado?
mate. That was BBC One. That was their budget for that was massive. Like, it was huge.
God.
I remember El Dorado.
Oh.
Perchy's just like not just.
No, I was at the stage when the Europa, well, it was the UEFA Cup was on Channel 5, and it was just the Fuzzy 5 channel because it used to always flicker on our.
Jonathan Pearce commentating probably.
Fuzzy 5. We got to watch just Spurs on Fuzzy 5 because we're playing like some random team in the UEFA Cup. But yeah, no, back in the day, yeah, you know, old school. Back when the simpler times nowadays.
I reckon what they should do with the human race, right, is I think first and foremost, I think to have access to the internet.
This is great.
Right? I think to have access to the internet, I think people should have to pass an exam of intelligence.
Savva's going to have a stinker. He won't be able to stream anymore.
I truly believe that there should be a test that allows people to go onto the internet or not. I don't know how well that would. Do you know what I mean, Chris? You think it might slash YouTube numbers by about
180? You'll have about 5 people watching you, Savva.
In the chat, let us know if there was a questionnaire to answer. Like, imagine you had to write off to the government and they gave you a quiz to decide whether you were allowed internet access. What sort of questions would the government ask? What sort of questions would they ask? Let's get the funniest ones. We'll bring them up.
Well, and Postecoglou a good manager? Because honestly, that will knock out a lot of the trolls get booted out immediately when you say that one.
97. What year were you born, Perchy?
I was 92.
Okay, so Perchy would have been 5 when Channel 5 went live. Wow. Yeah. If that was this has turned into Sean Butler TV. I don't know what that means. Why? What's Sean done? No idea.
Not that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, his new rabbit. I've not seen it yet. I've not watched it. But yeah, Sean's got rabbit hole. He's got a passion for all things controversial and stuff, right?
That's Sean's 61st channel on YouTube that he's just
British man. Question 1. Is your name Matt? Is your name Matt? Yes. Sorry, you're not allowed access to the internet. Sorry. Oh, do you support Arsenal? Yeah. Where's Cape Verde? Good question. I switched on late. We're talking about the cartoon film El Dorado with the oversight. No. There was a BBC One series about El Dorado, right? It was
EastEnders in Spain is what it was supposed to be, basically.
Yeah, it came and went very, very. We spent 33 minutes and not really talked about anything football, and I'm quite enjoying it.
This is more fun to me. This is what this channel. This is what this show is all about. By the way, we just have an absolute chinwag about random stuff.
Question from the government: should Richarlison be starting in the Spurs 11? Yes. Sorry. Why is Wolfie so? Listen, Wolfie's loving life. Hey. Wolfie is shameless. He's done a bloody video or live, whatever it was, saying, I'm Anjin because I don't want Sean Dyche. I'm Anjin because I don't want Dyche.
Wolfie starts his stream like Shane McMahon walking out. Here comes the money. Money talks. Here comes the money. Money. Mate,
I will never ever get bored of watching Wolfie. I think he's brilliant. Just for old time's sake.
Ball's whipped in. Chris Wood, surely get him off, man. How's he missed that? How's he missed that? How the hell has he missed? Is he offside again?
Thanks for not selling us MGW. Tears of joy, 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 tears of joy.
He was offside. I think he was actually trying to square it back.
Joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy.
Savva, thank you for the £5.
The ending's the best.
I had no idea when I sent him that super chat, right, that it would like that there was like an automated voice that read it out. So when I'm sitting there going, how many emojis should I put into this? And I was like, should I just keep going? Oh, that's brilliant. I love him so much. And then there was, hang on, and then we've got, look at these. Hang on, let's do this one. Look.
So it's day 2 under Ange, and for 24 hours, all I've been hearing from the Ups fans is good luck to Murillo's hamstrings, good luck playing Ange ball, good luck playing that high line for life. But I've investigated Ange ball, and I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit excited.
Hold that thought. 6 games later.
I've become like Anakin. I'm moving over to the dark side. I'm officially Ange out. I think his time is done.
Someone watching here, please can they create a whole compilation of when Ange started at Forest to the when he gets sacked? Just create the video, gift it to Wolfie, and just leave it there. It is YouTube gold. He's YouTube Heritage TV.
Listen, he loves it. I love the way that they're going to go. Imagine they go from Nuno to Ange. Sean Dyche is in the mix. By the way, I don't think Sean Dyche is worse than Ange, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. I think Sean Dyche has done a very good job for every team.
Oh, don't. This is
putting it out there. Yeah, I mean, we had 18 months. Wolfie needs at least 1 year. I just love though that in the space of 3 weeks he went from I'm excited to I've gone to the dark side. This manager's got to leave. I found it hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But listen, he's living the dream. Something rude, big.
Bringing it back round a little bit to sort of breaking-ish Spurs news. Have you seen who's scored again in international football today? Literally playing at the moment. Only Matisse Tel scored again for France under 21s.
Oh, he's cooking. He's cooking.
He's a
brilliant.
Machine.
Hey, don't talk about as Matt says. Don't talk about a club legend, mate. Don't do it.
He's so Matt. He's left our club. Move on. He's gone. Stop worrying about it. It's not so serious.
The only thing that was legendary about last season was how shit we were. That is all that he's left as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I think you could tell Matt's young because he thinks people that I can't call that a legend. Sorry, beating the worst ever Man United I've seen. Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt, and AZ Alkmaar for me isn't enough for me to call someone a legend. If that's the case, are we calling One Day Ramos a legend, guys? Is One Day Ramos a legend?
I'll have him over Ange. Does that count?
Well, no. Is One Day Ramos?
Of course he isn't.
Okay, is George Graham?
No.
Chat. This is a show where we get you involved. One Day Ramos and George Graham, are they legends? Because they also won trophies with Spurs.
No.
For me,
not for me.
For me, with Ramos, I think you say, what do you remember about Ramos? I think most people remember 2 points after 8 games in the next season.
I remember banning ketchup. That's my only memory.
Yeah, that as well.
Ramos.
And I genuinely think for Ange, not for everyone for sure, but for me, my first memory is how crap we were because it scarred me so much. Like, don't be wrong, I love Bilbao, but I'm too deeply scarred by last season.
Sorry, can we just go back? Can you imagine the conversation? Like, sorry, can you gather all the boys? Got something serious to talk about, right, lads? I'm not here to talk about the game tomorrow. I'm here to talk about ketchup. If I see anybody with any sachets of ketchup or a bottle of ketchup anywhere, you're going to get fined a week's wage. I find it hilarious. You can imagine
I'd love to see how they've done it. Was it, as I said, was it a gathering around of people, or was it just a sign? Like, they might have a little condiments thing at Tottenham, and then instead of them, it'll go, oh, Wilson, go over and grab us the ketchup there. Goes over and goes, oh, where's it gone? And then there's a sign saying, all condiments have now been banned. Signed, One Day Ramos. Like
I've got visions of Jamie O'Hara turning up in like a Del Boy coat and opening it up, and it's just like sachets of ketchup and HP sauce.
There was 100% someone flogging like contraband like ketchup. I think everyone in the chat put in there who was the one flogging the contraband ketchup in the One Day Ramos era.
I'm going O'Hara.
You reckon people were going down to their local chippy and taking them, the little 10p sachets out the little tub? Everyone was coming back. What do you want? Do you want some little wooden forks, or you want a little sachet of ketchup? I'll have some cheeky ketchup.
Or they had to like give him like different names. Like one was Tommy for like the ketchup was sort of
Anyone
Tommy
seen Tommy?
Oh my God, I need some Tommy.
Tommy's around the corner, mate.
What's that, Tommy?
You've stopped scoring goals, Robbie Keane. Why? I need my ketchup, man. I need my ketchup. I just can't. Oh gosh, how football has changed. But wasn't Wenger like the kind of the blueprint for this, wasn't it? Like Wenger was the one that came in and started banning salt and stuff from all the players' diets.
But wasn't Wenger's more in the sense of more of a overall like nutrition thing though? I think it was. I could be wrong. Like he came in and went, we need to actually have proper diets here, like, and have proper like meal plans and stuff. I don't think it was like he came in and just went, no, you're now not allowed seasoning on your food.
Yeah, no. True. Oh, see, because One Day Ramos. What a strange time that was as a Spurs fan, because if we're going to remember this rightly, he came over here from Spain where he'd done a brilliant job, right? If I'm not wrong, he'd won a few trophies. Was it Sevilla?
Europa Leagues, didn't he?
Was it Sevilla?
Sevilla, yeah.
With Sevilla, yeah. And he came over here with quite a good reputation. And to be fair, he beat a good Arsenal side, battered a good Arsenal side in the semis, right? If I'm not wrong, didn't we beat them 5-1 on Ag or 6-1 on Ag or something like that?
We beat them 5-1 at White Hart Lane. We drew with them in the first leg, if I'm right in saying.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, and then goes and beats a top Chelsea team in the final. Now, the thing is where it's slightly harsh is Chris is right what he said just now. Yeah, the beginning of the next season, he got 2 points from 8. But if you remember, in the summer, he lost Keane and Berbatov, didn't he? He lost Keane and Berbatov and someone else, I want to say, Woodgate or can't remember. He lost.
We did get Fraser Campbell in, though, to be fair.
He lost Berbatov, Keane, and he lost Carroll. No, Carrick wasn't there. He'd already gone.
I thought you were going to say Carroll. I was going to be like, fucking hell, he's not. Wasn't a great loss.
Shall I double check what the answer is?
Yes. Double check on Transfer Market what the answer is. But yeah, he had hang on. The Carling Cup does not compare to the Europa League. What it does when you're beating more difficult teams to win it. Yes, it does. We didn't have to beat anyone, Matt, to win it. Like, you didn't have to listen. A trophy win is a trophy win, but that doesn't make. It doesn't mean.
I mean, just to point out. Our next match in the Carabao, as it is now, right? Our next match in the Carabao is far more difficult than any match we played in the Europa last season.
Absolutely.
Hang on, we're nearly there.
See, again, I love Matt because what Matt doesn't quite understand, right? You are so far up Angie's backside, it's embarrassing, right, Matt? Listen to what I said. One Day Ramos actually played with Berbatov and Keane.
And he amount of players, but hang
on. Ange didn't have Kane. Kane went in a summer, right?
Yeah.
When Ramos came into Spurs, his front two were Berbatov and Robbie Keane. You've got to know your Spurs history before you come out with silly things like this. This is why everyone thinks you're a troll. Right.
Bear in mind, these are the players, by the way, that One Day Ramos did lose. Berbatov, Keane, Kabul, Malbronk, Robinson, Chimbonda, Garner, Taino, Pio, and Kevin Prince Boateng. But I think he might have gone in the Jan actually. So may not be him.
Boateng, by the way, way, I'm a big fan of Boateng. I thought he turned into a really good player, but not really.
Kevin Prince Boateng. Do you know the list of football clubs that man has played?
Oh yeah, mental.
Hertha Berlin, Borussia Dortmund, Tottenham, Portsmouth, Genoa, AC Milan, Schalke, Las Palmas, Frankfurt, Sassuolo, Barcelona, Fiorentina, Besiktas, Monza, and then went back to Hertha Berlin. That's mad.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, and then the worst thing was as well, if you remember who came in the summer when he brought in, I mean, we lost Berbatov on the last day of the window and brought in Fraser Campbell on loan.
Yeah.
Fraser
Campbell. We signed that season we signed Modric that season. David Bentley we paid 22 million for. Pavlyuchenko. They were the players that we did sign. We also signed Fraser Campbell, as you mentioned, on loan. That was the season we brought in Carlo Cudicini on a free. We brought in. That was also the year we brought in John Bostock, Giovanni Dos Santos, Aurelio Gomez, Chorluca.
Jesus.
These are the players that we brought in.
Guys, I'm going to get off, guys. I've got to go to the gym, mate. I've done so little exercise. But I'm going to leave you with the breaking news that Cape Verde have qualified for the World Cup, man.
Love it.
Unbelievable scenes.
I love it. I'm here for it. Well done to Cape Verde. Well done to my Cape Verde.
Your Cape Verde.
Oh, I love Cape Verde.
Your holiday destination for Cape Verde.
Anyway, I've actually really enjoyed talking about random crap, to be honest. It makes a change from the same old stuff.
That's what this podcast is all about.
Random conversations. I like the random conversations, but a lot of YouTube viewers don't, because they just want drama. Like I tell you what, let's do it, Chris. I think you're going, but it's a really bad day that you're choosing the gym over this. I'm not going to lie to you. Who cares? Why are you going to the gym?
Well, because in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks, I've got to do a 12K assault course, and I haven't done anything for about 10 weeks.
Why? Why are you doing a 12K assault course, Chris?
Go tomorrow in the day.
I've put so much weight on. Look at that.
No.
I know I used to be like the size of a house, but I got about a year ago, I got to nice and trim, and now I've put loads of weight back on. So,
just by the way, it's an interesting subject. Do any of you know Jamie Phillips, as in Liverpool Talks?
Oh, I don't know.
He did a show this morning or yesterday morning, whether it was, talking about just how silly. He just said he was fed up. Just how, and by the way, I work with him on a Thursday with Dan Potts, great guy, Jamie. Just saying just how silly a lot of like panel shows and YouTube has become, that you can't actually have sensible conversations. If you do, people say it's an echo chamber, and you just agree with him. But he was saying, look, everything feels like it's a one-upman. Mm-hmm. Rather than actually having a sensible conversation. So if I'm on with a Palace, I don't know why Palace, just example, rather than having a sensible conversation, it has to be my player's better than your player, your player shit, your manager shit. Like, he's got a point, right?
Listen, I'm going to go, but I'm going to leave you with how many streams combine a discussion of Cape Verde with Radio Rentals and Fraser Campbell. I mean, that is YouTube gold.
And Chris, what are we doing here? That's what it's all about, man.
I mean, if that is not enough to be smashing the likes, I don't know what to say.
And only 84 likes. Only 84 likes. Chris, see you later. Enjoy the gym. I
don't know why you're wasting your time, but good luck.
Yeah, pointless. Right. See you later. Bye-bye. Let's see what okay, that's different, isn't it? Oh, we look much bigger.
You even fit in your little border and everything.
I know, it's amazing. Let's do a super chat. Eugene said, Chris, instead of me, what are we doing here? Unfortunately, your opinions were so bad last week, Eugene, that the viewers complained. No, just joking. Listen, who knows? You might be back next week. Who knows, Eugene? By the way, big up to Tony, who's been a member for 25 months. Big up to you, Tony. Member for 25 months. He's had a Sweden-Cape Verde combo. That's what he is. That's pretty cool, because I've been to both places. Love both places for different reasons and obviously very different weather. But yeah, big up to you, Tony. Great mix you got going on there, my man. And one of those countries look like they're going to the World Cup. The other looks like it's going to struggle to qualify. Sweden
Sweden not going to qualify.
Sweden, I'll tell you what, let me bring up the right. Will they have this on the BBC Sport? Will they have the tables of the football? European table. No, that's the Europa League. Enter a competition. What is it? The World Cup. Cup.
Shoot. No, I think Sweden are out.
So let's have a look. Here you go. I'll bring it up. Here you go. I'm going to bring it up right now. Yeah, Sweden are having a mare, mate. Sweden are having an absolute
I didn't realise
mare.
it was that bad.
Hang on. I'll try to bring it up. My screen's gone all a little bit funny at the moment. 1 second. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, here we go. So this is Sweden. Actually, let's have a look at all the groups. Sod it. So you can see here, Group B, Switzerland top with 9 points. So there's only 6 games in the group, right?
Yeah.
And Sweden, the saving grace for Sweden is that Kosovo are only 3 ahead of them. That is the saving grace here for them. But they have got...
but second doesn't qualify you, though.
No, it puts you in a playoff, right?
Playoffs.
Sure, but at the moment, listen, they're not catching Switzerland because Switzerland aren't going to lose 3 in a row, are they?
No, Switzerland need a point to qualify, right?
Right. So Switzerland need a point to qualify, so they're going to go through, and then Sweden. Let's actually have a look and see because the next game, if it's Sweden Kosovo, right? Sweden.
They've just. I think they're playing.
Is that tonight?
They're playing today. Sweden Kosovo.
Oh wow! So
they kick off in 45 minutes. And I'll give you Lucas Bergvall starts in midfield.
Wow. So Sweden, if I'm not wrong, Sweden will almost be knocked out if they lose tonight.
Wait, if they lose tonight to Kosovo, Kosovo would be on 7 points. Yeah, they would fundamentally be out. In theory, yeah, they would be out if they lose to Kosovo.
So if they lose to Kosovo, they'll be 6 points behind Kosovo
with 2 games to go, and they've still got to play Switzerland. Yeah.
Oh wow, that is stinker and hooked. When you think they've got Isak and Gyökeres up front, that is absolute stinker. It's in England's group. Isn't this pointless in England and look at this, right? This is so pointless. Look at Spain, played 3-1-3. Portugal played 3-1-3. Netherlands, all right, played 6-1-5, drawn 1. No real big boys in that group. Well, look at Norway. Bloody hell, 29 goals in 6 games. Belgium got a game in hand. They'll go top. England played 5-1-5. Croatia. It's all...
But England played tomorrow, right? England played tomorrow, and I think if you put that back up. I think England are now qualified top, right? There's 5 games, 8 games, so they'll have 2 more, 6 points. If they win tomorrow, yeah. I mean, they're almost qualified. I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of the games. Have we been playing well, people? I mean, we haven't conceded, to be fair. I'll take that on the chin, but we are playing Albania, Serbia, Latvia, and Andorra.
Oh,
I can't struggle with it.
I don't know which one it is.
Multi-person, mate.
So is it my person at the top?
No, it's not.
There we go. Anyway, so big up to you, Tony. I don't know how we got there. Sweden and Cape Verde. So Cape Verde will be at the World Cup. You can support Cape Verde. Big up to Toby One Kenobi, who I'm guessing this is Cat Funt. So big up, lads. Hope you're well. I can't answer the poll as I want Spence and a Dogie, depending on who's on the left wing and how they play. Yeah, so obviously that was the question in the poll tonight about who do you want to see at left back? And the options were Spence, Adogie, Davis, and someone else. Spence, 37%. Adogie, 51%. Davis, 5%. And somebody else got 7%. No idea who that somebody else is. Maybe Van de Ven.
I do love how serious you've taken a quick poll in the chat. You've donated a £5 super chat to say, I can't answer that one. It's such a monumental question. I love it. I just love that so much.
Did you see Bergvall miss an open goal? Yeah, look. All footballers have that in them, right? All footballers have that in them. For me, I'm not bothered about his goal scoring. For me, I just need to see more of him as a footballer before I put him on the pedestal others do, such as my mate Matt. Clear world-class ability. Like, this is what I mean, Perchy. Every show, when I talk about fans just going over the top, clear world-class ability. I have not looked at any Spurs player and gone, you have got clear world-class ability. Maybe my threshold for world-class is different.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, imagine that this is a potential, right? Going back to Sweden. Sweden could miss the World Cup, but the Faroe Islands could qualify.
Wow.
I mean, if they beat, I mean, I doubt they will, but they've already got 12 points, by the way, the Faroe Islands. So credit to them. Like, they beat Czechia, they beat Montenegro, they beat Gibraltar in their group. They did lose to Croatia and then beat Gibraltar. They beat Croatia away. They go above Czechia. That'd be quite interesting. I doubt they will, but that'd be quite interesting if the Faroe Islands get through.
Wilson Odobert has now scored for the French under-21s, which means our fans are going to be unbearable, aren't they? Because Tell and Odobert have scored against Estonia.
He scored also for France, the under-21s, by the way. Keep an eye on him, by the way, everyone. Junior Croppi. Good little player. Plays for Bournemouth.
Junior Croppi? 19-year-old. Yeah. I can't say I've seen him play.
Keep an eye on him. Tell you what, he's a good little football player. He came from, I want to say, Lorient. He's meant to be a very, very good football player.
Yeah, but Matt, when you're saying world-class ability, I've not once watched Bergvall and gone, you've got world-class ability. Please explain what this... I'll tell you what, Matt, explain to me what you've seen in Bergvall, what one of his qualities that you've gone world-class ability, because I really haven't. What you mean is he's a talented lad.
Yeah, he's got talent.
Why can't we leave it at that? Why does everything always have to be world-class ability, generational ability? I look at him like most other young players and go, yeah, you're decent. I don't see the I don't.
No,
maybe I'm harsh. I just don't see.
No, I don't think it's about being. I think you'll probably agree with me on this one. I think we look and go, yeah, you're a good player, but there is a lot that you need to improve on to get from a good player to being a great player. I think this is what people jump from. People jump from good, so they see a player like Bergvall and go, doing well, doing okay, he's doing good, but then go from he's class. Now, the gap between a good player and a class player is a big jump, right? Like, I try and think of an example. I'm trying to think of an example that is a good comparison, right? Like, for me at the moment, Kobe Mainu is a good football player. He's not a great football player. Do you see what I mean? Like,
no, of course. The problem is, right, let's have a look, right? I look at when people are talking about young players, I look at like Pedri and Gavi when they came onto the scene.
They're class.
And I look at them and go, wow. Now, do I even put them in the world-class bracket? I don't know. Right. Okay.
I don't.
So
they're class, they're not world-class.
No, of course. So when people then want to start talking about Bergvall, I don't even think he's there. Like, it's really difficult because if you say something about a Spurs player that isn't waxing lyrical, you get told you're negative. But I watch him, honestly, and go, yeah, you're a good young talent. I don't see the the kind of clamor that everyone's going on like, oh my God, he's there. I don't think his passing's that good. He doesn't score many goals. He doesn't get assists. He's not a 6. He's not a 10. I'm looking at him going, let him grow. But we just don't. We don't want that. We want everyone to be amazing within the first year or two of their career.
As I said, I think Bergvall's a good football player. He's not amazing. He's a good football player learning his trade. And this is what happens, right? We hear this all the time, right? Hear this all the time about good football players. I don't hear this. If we're going to put, as I said, I say this to you all the time, right? I'll use it when I did about when we had Heung-min Son all the time. I did this all the time with Heung-min Son. When everyone kept saying world class, fine, then I'll judge him at world class standards. Then you go and moan that I'm overcritical. You can't have it both ways, right?
How long have I said this for, Perchy, right? If people want to start throwing superlatives around, then don't be upset when players are judged versus those superlatives. So if you tell, not you, if you tell me, oh, this kid's better than all the others, I'm judging him on that now, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to judge internally. I'm going to judge him the way I do all of the kids, right? That's Gray, Bergvall, Odeber. Odeber's not even that young now. What is he, 21? I'm not saying that's old, but you get my point. I just feel we need to. I just feel we need to just be all a little bit. I'll ask you this: if he played for West Ham, would he be getting waxed lyrical about like this from other fan bases? There's the question.
No, it would be he's a good player, but there's a lot to do. Like I judge him now, and I think just to sort of touch on what you're saying, you know me, and I've always said about age is just I don't judge football players with age like a lot of people do, right? I say this all the time. By the way, this isn't just a YouTube. This isn't a YouTube thing. This is a Perchy real thing. When everyone goes, oh, he's young, he's this, I don't give a crap. I don't care if you're 18 or 38. If you're good enough, you play. And when I hear this, people hate it. My overarching thing with age is only used to justify bad performances, right? All the time. I never hear Erling Haaland's age get mentioned when he has a shit game. So when he plays, no one mentions Erling Haaland's age. No one goes, oh, well, he's only 21. No, because he's banging in goals every week. No one uses age for when Lamine Yamal is unbelievable. They go, oh, he's only young, give him time. No, he's doing it now. Age for me is just a number used as an excuse to justify poor performances. Always have believed this. I stand by it. Matt, bullshit. Bullshit. I'll jump to it. Bullshit. Age is also not a factor. If you're good enough, you play. End of argument. Bergvall, if age is a factor, then why are we not loaning out Lucas Bergvall to League One then? He's playing in the Premier League because he's got to that level. He needs to get better.
But this is it. If you're telling me, when I say I'm not me, you, I mean the Royal, right? If you're telling me said player is good enough to be in Tottenham first team, right? You're telling me he's better than all the other players to be in that position. Surely we judge them by that.
Of
right?
course.
Now, if you've got a kid coming from the youth team, right? If I've got, let's use, I don't want to use Luca Williams-Barnett because he's so young. Let's use, let's say next season, George Abbott comes back from loan and starts getting 15 minutes here or there off the bench, right? Then I turn around and go, young player, finding his way into the first team, yada, yada, yada. Bergvall's been starting in this first team for Tottenham for a year now, right?
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're saying, fans are saying, right, whenever I put up, right, here's the 11 I would pick today, always I get back, oh, Bergvall, he's got to start above Bentancur. Bergvall. Okay, cool. If you are going to tell me you want Bergvall above Bentancur or Basuma or insert player, then I'm going to judge them that you're telling me they're ready and they're good enough, right?
Yeah.
So maybe just stop, maybe, not you, maybe just stop over-egging people too soon if you don't want them judged like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, Pau Kabasi is a great example.
Someone just put a great shout.
He's a young centre-half at Barcelona, right? No one's turning around and going, oh, Barcelona letting loads of goals, but don't worry, he's a kid. No. People go,
yeah, no one's telling me, no one's saying Pau Kabasi needs time, are they? No. They're going, he's good enough, he plays, right? This is the argument, right? If this is where I always feel with this whole notion about they need time.
Doesn't that sum it up, though?
Wait,
rather see what Bergvall can become
But that's not.
than
But
see
that's not how.
Bentancur play.
But that's not how life works. If that's the case, then we might as well not have experienced football players and just play a load of kids and go, well, it's nice to see how they.
Agreed.
This is unfortunately a fan mindset, because fans, whether they like it or not, like the emotion of a young player growing, right? We all do deep down, but we're analysing it much more deeper. Football doesn't work so like that. Oh, it'll be nice to see. If that's the case, then why do we want good football players at our team, right? And I use this all the time. I judge everything on a meritocracy. I don't use age. I don't use anything. If you're good enough, you play. For example, I'm not sitting here when we go, oh, we need an experienced football player, right? When I hear this all the time, we need an experienced football player. That doesn't mean I want a 28-year-old. If we sign Lamine Yamal, that's an experienced football player because he's one of the best kids. Because he's, regardless, forget his age, he's an experienced football player that makes us better. For me,
so let me ask this question. See, so this tells me though that Eugene doesn't understand the difference in midfielders. First of all, when you're saying Bergvall isn't a drop off from Bentancur, first of all, they play two very different roles in the football team. So if I want someone to sit alongside, like, look at the last game, Leeds. If I'm going to Leeds and I want two midfielders to sit in because Leeds have got a very strong three-man midfield, do I want that to be Bentancur with his experience? Or do I want it to be Bergvall, who runs around a lot and drives forward and leaves his position? I want it to be Bentancur. Now, at home games, there might be games where I go, actually, we're the better team here. We don't need both. But at the moment, when you're saying there's not a drop-off, it's
too linear. We think like this, oh, well, there's not a drop-off, but they're totally different football players.
Yeah,
it's
great.
like, and the problem is, this is what happens, unfortunately, like that what we've done is we've put all of our midfielders into one bowl and gone, we'll pick these two today. Doesn't really work like that, right? It doesn't. You have to pick on the players. By the way, I think there are certain games where I'll put Sarr and Bergvall together in this, are good for certain games of football when you need a bit of energy to sort of break lines and stuff. They're brilliant for. But when you're playing against teams where you need a player like that will sit in, break up play like Bentancur can do, pass the ball. I think Bentancur, all of the Jews against him, I think he's probably our better pass. I think that's the key bit for me, right? I think it's very easy to sit and go, oh, Bergvall, there's no drop-off. But different players for me, totally different football players.
Well, this is interesting, right? This is interesting. So this is where people see what they want to see, but don't actually do their homework. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. Yeah. If Gray and Bergvall got put on the market, they both get snapped up. I'm sure Bergvall might, but Gray, I'm not sure where, right? So here's what I've got, right? So Savva. Now, Eugene has got the internet like I have. Is this correct?
I'd hope so.
Well, he's on the internet right now. Savva, yes, Bentancur passes the ball backwards and offers nothing in attack. He's the definition of an average player. Now, hang on. Look what Savva's just gone and done with the power of the internet.
Oh, no. Right? We VAR'd him. Oh, Eugene's been VAR'd live on screen.
So,
oh, no.
So, progressive passes, Lucas Bergvall doesn't pass the ball progressively. Lucas Bergvall doesn't pass the ball forward anywhere near as much as Bentancur. Lucas Bergvall doesn't have forward passes at all, right? What Lucas Bergvall has got is better ball carrying.
So he travels the ball more.
What you've got to actually do here, before you do these things, Eugene, this is what you've got to look at. You've said he only passes the ball backwards and sideways. From this, you can actually see that Bentancur passes it forward a hell of a lot more than Bergvall ever actually does. So what have you got to say, Eugene?
I think the thing is here, what people miss here, what Bentancur does pass, what Bergvall, what Eugene has missed here is what Bergvall does. He travels with the ball more and gets the ball further forward by traveling with it. Bentancur makes a lot more passes than Bergvall. This is the key distinction, right? Look, as I said, when you need a player that will travel on the ball, like I always put Sarr and Bergvall in the same bracket. I think they're very similar in that sense. They travel with it well. I'll put it out there. I don't think Bergvall's great passing. I think I hear this all the time. He's good on the ball, like passing. I haven't seen him where I go, oh, you're amazing on the ball, passing wise. You haven't got a good array of passing. That's
I don't think so either.
And by the way, I think that's something he will naturally develop. By the way, this isn't me criticizing. He's a young lad that will learn it. But yeah, Matt, sorry, mate, you're having a stinker. Not everything is about stats. Well, it is when you make a statistical comment.
Right.
Eugene said,
when I'm being asked.
Eugene made a statistical point that Bergvall passes forward. Well, but Bentancur doesn't make forward passes. You can't just yes, not everything is, but when you're making statistical conversation, you've had a mare again, my man. Absolute stinker.
By the way, can we just say so this is the problem, right? And this is the problem where people do this. Like Savva, Bergvall is a runner and offers an option in attack. Okay. Now, not everything is about stats, but when you say offers more in attack, I'll ask everybody in the chat, how many goals and assists do you think Lucas Bergvall has got? How can I find this one?
One assist, I think. Or maybe none.
Here's a question. So, in the last 2 years at Tottenham, how many assists has Lucas Bergvall got? Bearing in mind, this is again is Eugene saying Bergvall offers more of an option in attack. How many assists has Bergvall got? He's played 33 league games, right? He's played 33, 34, 35, 36, 40, 42, 43, 55. He's played 55 games for Tottenham Hotspur. For someone that offers more in attack, how many assists has he got in those 55 games?
I don't think he's got more than on one hand. I'm going to say, yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say 3.
Okay, so 4. So 4 in 55. If I'm not wrong, what's that? One every...
Well, 4 in 55 is like 1 in like 12 or something like yeah.
12,
no, 1 in
24,
13.
36, 48. It's more than that, isn't it? 1 in 13, 26, 39, 52. It's literally 1 every 13 and a half games, right?
Yeah.
Now, how many goals has he got in that time?
1.
2, right?
2.
So he's got 6 goal contributions in 55 games. Now, don't forget, this is Eugene saying these things, not me, right? Bentancur. Now, bearing in mind, I have not even checked Bentancur right now. So Bentancur, right, in that same time, has got 2 goals and 3 assists. So he's got 1 less games played because of injury. He's got 1 less. So basically, he doesn't offer more in attack, Eugene. No, it's not true.
I just think what we're doing here is look. And I know Eugene. I know you mentioned Brennan Johnson, but what I don't get what that's one got the relevance. I don't think Brennan Johnson is a great football player. What I do think is he's got a very good knack of getting into the box to score a tap in. So yeah, he offers something in that round. But so Bentancur, by the way, I think they're totally different football players. What Bergvall does is he's a runner with the football and he'll run around a lot. Bentancur's much more composed. By the way, this is not me dying on the hill for Bentancur. I think we can get better players than him. But I think you've got to understand the ideals of what Bentancur offers to the team and what Bergvall does. Again, certain games, Bergvall will be useful. But there are also games where Bentancur is useful. I think it's not so one shoe fits all kind of thing. This is the problem, right, Savva? And I'll get your thoughts on this. You know when everyone kept saying we need a squad?
Why is Bentancur a mercenary, by the way?
Hey, but wait, what's Bentancur done?
Why is Bentancur a mercenary?
Wait, for goodness sake, Bergvall is the future. Sure, no one's denied that. Bentancur's a mercenary based on what? And we need to replace him. Sure, I don't think we disagree with that. I don't think either of us disagree that we could do upgrading on him, right? That's fair. Bergvall needs a good striker to play off and a number 6 who plays progressive passes. I'm not replacing Paulinho for anyone, so that's bull crap. And by the way, I think the notion that Paulinho doesn't make good passes, by the way, I think is one of the myths I hear all the time.
Can I just say, by the way, this isn't me loving Bentancur. I think I've been very consistent for years about Bentancur. I think he's okay. I think he's a good pro. I don't think he's amazing. But what I would say is, if we are going to start going, this person's got to play over this person, sure, fight the corner. Fight the corner and tell me. Now, bearing in mind, I didn't bring up stats. Eugene made a statement.
Yeah.
This guy passes backwards and sideways. But the data actually shows you, no, he doesn't. The guy you're talking about is the one that doesn't pass the ball forwards. So I think we've got to be very careful here. For me, with the eyes and the stats, what I see Bentancur is a good midfielder, no more, no less, who is I'll say this for the last 4 years, I think he's very inconsistent. I've always said that about him. He has some very good games. He has some very poor games. And for me, that is why I said what I said earlier. We need a ball-playing number 8.
I agree.
Right?
I think
we need a ball-playing number 8. And that is not Sarr. That is not Gray. That is not Bergvall. That is not Basuma. We need a ball-playing number 8 to play alongside a Paulinho and then eventually the Paulinho replacement. That's what we need.
Sure. I think, you need to go and find someone that has a good passing range for me. And by the way, but just to sort of go back to what I was trying to say, when everyone's sort of, this whole notion, we talk very much in a way of the one shoe fits all kind of thing. And we've been trying for so long to build a squad and build different qualities in midfielders all the time. We do that, and I think we do at the moment. Maybe not at the standard we probably want. I think we're probably here and we want to be up here. But we do. I think the likes of Paulinho, Sarr, Bentancur, Bergvall as the 4. Basuma, I'm not sure what's happening with him. They're all very different now. I think that's the difference, right?
Can I tell you know, this comment from Bobby absolutely sums up Spurs fans in a good way, by the way, Bobby. Right? This is the thing. We debate all day, every day, so many players who have done nothing or are average footballers.
Yeah.
Right. But this comment says, look at the difference when you go and sign a top talent and spend money, because Paulinho and Kudus have been leaps and bounds better than anyone else. Right. Bobby, that's the difference, right? When it's like, go and get Paulinho, go and get Kudus. No one's really debating these two. Why? Because they're just good. They're just very good footballers.
Agreed.
Why is everyone debating all these other players? Because nothing's really happened. Like if you sorry, mate, Matt, you don't understand what the word mercenary means. Then please Google it. A mercenary because he's been out for a while and flattened to kick up.
That's not what a mercenary is. You've actually had an absolute mare there. A mercenary is him going, I want to go move for a bigger, keep moving football clubs, and basically saying I'm not playing. I just wanted to touch on this. I think the guy under what Bobby Andrews said was probably the nail on the player that we need.
Can't see the comment. I've seen it. Yeah, Alex Scott. See, now a player like this. This is a boy that gets on the ball. He's involved in the game. Now that's what I want to see in a number 8. And this is my problem, right? Bringing it back to Bergvall. It's not whether or not I think Bergvall's a good player. My point is you have to play a certain way in midfield to get the best out of Bergvall. Now, if Bergvall is going to play alongside a number 6, what that means is you now don't have a ball-playing midfielder, because you've got one who's the number 6 and you've got Bergvall who's a ball carrier, right?
Yes.
That's the difference. So if you play that double pivot, so to speak, and Paulinho's winning it, and Bergval's driving forward with it, what you've got is no one that says, give me the ball, I'll dictate the tempo of the game. So doesn't mean every game needs to be like that, but this is why at the moment, I don't quite know what Bergval is. I can see he's got talent, absolutely, but I don't quite know why I'd go, yeah, he has to play today. I'm just not sure. And yes, players like this is what we need. A Barella, a Locatelli, an Ederson, a Wharton, a Stiller, a Zer.
Angelo Stiller, by the way, if you could go and get someone like that from Stuttgart, by the way, if you can't go and get the bigger name like a Wharton, if you watch him play, he's a very, very cultured midfielder, very good football player. I just want to respond to Eugene for a second. Big up Eugene, my guy. Perchy, point about Johnson stands. You says he scores tap-ins, he does, and that's using your eyes. Stats will say he's a very good goal scorer, a very good scorer. I never said he wasn't. I said one of the only things what Brennan Johnson offers is goal scoring. The rest of his game is crap. I've literally said that. I said he is a good goal scorer because whatever you think of Brennan Johnson, he will get into a position that will score a tap-in. So I can't discredit him for that because that is what he does.
Good. He's good at what he's good at.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
Again, this is where football is not just about that. This is where, for example, when Brennan Johnson came on against Leeds United, right, what you noticed immediately was that whenever the ball went out to that right-hand side, before, Kudus holds on to it, right? And where Kudus holds on to it, it means the ball doesn't bounce back towards our goal, the defence gets a breather, and the ball isn't in our half. What you notice the moment a Brennan Johnson comes onto the pitch, if he's not scoring tap-ins, what it actually means is that it's like playing with 10 men because he can't hold on to the ball, Perchy. So what was happening was the ball was going into him and Richarlison, by the way. Neither of them are technically good, so it bounces back and it bounces back. No one's saying that doesn't mean Brennan Johnson can nick the odd goal. Sure. But the point was, no one was talking about Brennan Johnson's goals. The point was, Eugene stated for a fact that Bentancur doesn't progress the ball forward, when in fact he progresses it forward 10 times more than Bergval does. And that's the difference. If you're going to say something, I am going to fact check it from what I believe, right? And when I fact checked it, you were wrong. Like, it's okay, Eugene. It's okay, right? If you offer a fact, make sure that the data backs up your fact, right? So all of that was passing forwards. Bentancur does it more than you think, and Bergval doesn't do it at all, apparently. And I'll say this. When did you last see Bergval get the ball and he puts in a ball nice and early into the forward players? I don't see that. I see him drop a shoulder, drive forward with the ball, and often loses the ball. So very different footballers is my point to this. This was my point at the beginning, Perchy. They're very different players. And I know that if I've got a tight game, i.e. when we played PSG, and we know they're going to have a lot of the ball, do I want Bergval in my midfield or Bentancur? I want Bentancur because he's going to hold on to the ball. He's going to keep the game ticking over.
I agree. Just to double check, just to get this all right, because Matt is wrong again. Another Matt stinker again. Just so you know, a mercenary is primarily concerned of making money at the expense of ethics. That's what the term mercenary comes from. It comes from when soldiers used to join the armed forces for financial gain. Like, that's what. Just to give you a bit of context. So Bentancur isn't trying to do for financial gain. When they're using the term for football, is mercenaries are trying to go for the bigger money, so they refuse to play football. They refuse to play football so they can get a bigger move. That's just where it comes from. Savva, what's the definition of progressing? I want a 2-yard pass, perhaps. For me, it's not. And but a progressive part. I think we're really playing semantics, mate. A progressive pass is a progressive pass. Right? Move passing forward. Your comment initially, where it all stemmed from, was he plays it sideways. That's not a progressive pass. A progressive pass is a pass made forward. That's what a progressive pass. Let's find some. Yes, and I read the second meaning out, Matt. Ears, my man. Ears. No, they're not. Oh, no, I'm not having this nonsense. No, footballers aren't mercenaries. When you listen to what football players say, they're not. This is an absolute nonsense. Not for me. No, football players aren't mercenaries. Nah. They're not. I don't buy it. Football players work very, very hard in an industry. Football players work very, very hard in an industry that 0.001% actually make it. So football players aren't mercenaries. You get the some occasions, right? There will be some in that. But here's an example, right? We talk about mercenaries. Well, apart from this, I hate this real characterization of football players. Savva, welcome back. But when I hear this nonsense that all football players are mercenaries, and there's a few people that put in the chat, I've just been Eugene's, but what people don't realize how hard it is to be a professional football player, by the way. Like how hard the pool size of football players that make it to the top level is so tiny. I don't get it. Like,
sorry, can I ask? I'll answer this. All footballers are mercenaries. Based on what evidence?
Yeah.
Based on what? So what we mean by this is they are very handsomely paid men, right?
Yeah.
They are very handsomely paid men. Okay. Why are they all mercenaries? Now, if I was a footballer, right, let's bring us back to normal. In our day job, Perchy, in your day job, let's just pretend, I don't know, let's just pretend you're paid £100,000 per annum, right?
Yep.
A company comes into you and says, mate, really like your work, seeing what you've done. We're going to give you 150 grand per annum. How many people are going to turn that down?
Yeah.
Realistically, you're going to turn around to your other half and go, I've had an offer. It's 50 grand more. I'm just trying to use normal human.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Right? It's 50 grand more. Think what that can do for paying our rent, our mortgage, our bills, our holidays, right? Are you now a mercenary for wanting that job, or are you just trying to better yourself?
But exactly, and even if you used it in football terminology, right? Even if you took it in football terminology, not normally in normal terms, the better football clubs, so the better jobs, pay the better money. It's a meritocracy, right?
Yeah,
let's be fair with it. If I'm just trying to think of if Mansfield Town started paying people 100 grand a week, you're not going to get the best players going to League Two to play football because it's not the top. Like it, the better teams, it works in that way. Unfortunately, people don't. I just think it's not. I think what I hear all the time, right? I hear, oh, but they're just playing football. I hear this all the time. I don't think people realise the sacrifice football players have had to make. And bear in mind, I'm talking about football. I think people really take. I always say this to you, Savva. The human element of football players gets completely ignored all the time. We talk about them like a commodity.
Because they're rich and privileged, it means apparently that they don't have to sacrifice anything.
Football players, you've got to remember, football players have a short shelf life. Their careers normally start around 16 and end in 20 years. Normally by the mid-30s, they're retiring, right? They're all retiring in that sort of context. And I hear this all the time. I'll pick out examples of football players. Let's use Lucas Bergvall as an example. We've been talking about him just now. Now I'm going to talk about him in a real positive light here. We've been talking. Lucas Bergvall as a kid is flown from Sweden, where he was born, to move to a country he's unfamiliar with, and then gone, okay, go on then, kid, go and play football. And we don't. Is Lucas Bergvall a mercenary for wanting to come to Tottenham to play football? Of course he isn't. He wants to better his career.
Is Archie Gray a mercenary?
Is Archie Gray a mercenary?
From Leeds to Spurs? Is he a mercenary?
this is what I find it really, really silly, right? It becomes, if we're going to start going, oh, players are mercenaries, now it's ridiculous. Football players sacrifice a lot. You know, I listen to the Ben Foster's podcast. I watch it a lot. I listen. I think Ben Foster shines such a brilliant light on what football players have to experience. If anyone has the opportunity, go and watch some of his stuff when he talks about what it's like to move football clubs. Because I think people forget this whole human element of football players. And he said he was talking when he was, I think it was when he was at West Brom. He said, we had this young lad that came over. He didn't know anybody. He hardly spoke English. And the poor kid goes and has to play. Then he gets a flat. Yeah, the club will find him a place to live and all this lot. He's got no friends. He's got no family over here. Almost we have to be his new friends and his new mates because he's got no one over here. And I think, and I just think we miss this whole humanizing element. When we talk about mercenaries, players are doing it to build their careers. They're trying to grow their footballing career. Let's be fair with it, right? If Lucas Bergvall gets an offer to go to Man City, doesn't make him a mercenary. If he goes to Man City, he's going because they're the best team in the country. That's why he's going there, right?
And a byproduct of getting the move is the salary going up. That's a byproduct, right?
A byproduct of it.
But if all footballers are mercenaries, Bruno Fernandes and all the others that have turned down Saudi, why did they turn it down if they're all mercenaries?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like everyone's getting categorized into one thing, right? These guys are still human.
I think that's
still humans.
Human
you know, it's like we expect that they can play 3 games a week and their bodies are just engines. We expect them to be just pure engines, right? Oh, he's got to be able to play that amount of money. Sorry, he's got to be able to play that amount of games because he's paid 200 grand a week. Whether you're paying me 200 grand a week or five grand a week, my body is still my body. Do you know what I mean? Like, my body doesn't know how much money you're paying me. My brain does. My bank account knows. But I just feel like there's so many sweeping statements these days about footballers. There's so many sweeping statements.
Yeah, but Eugene, but your argument here, my man, and his family is set for generations. But you said they're mercenaries. But you said all footballers are mercenaries. If he was a mercenary, he could have set the rest of his bloodline in the future for life. If he went there, if he was getting paid 800 grand of tax-free money a week or whatever the ridiculous funds are. And I think, I think we just become really, we dehumanize football players more than we even think. But and we think it's acceptable because they get paid a load of money. They get paid a load of money is because people like us and all of you in the chat sit and watch them. If none of us watch football, they wouldn't be getting paid all that money, right? Let's be fair with it.
I hate it whenever I'm with people who aren't football fans and they do that.
I know what you're saying.
Oh, it's terrible. The doctors and nurses should get paid what they get paid. Yeah, but hang on. The doctors and nurses don't work for football clubs. They're not football. Like I don't understand. There's no correlation. But hey,
yes, good point.
It is what it is. I just find it funny, right? Look, like if this all started with Bentancur being called a mercenary, and I'm like, why is Bentancur a mercenary of all people? It just makes no sense. And also, what I will say is for the person that said Bentancur's a mercenary and he's been here too long, right, and he shouldn't have had a new contract, I don't think people actually understand how the finances of a football club work at all either. Why on earth would Spurs let Bentancur go for free when you could get money for him down the line?
It's also funny. Bentancur's the bad guy for signing a contract offered by a football club. Let that sink in, by the way. Bentancur's the mercenary for signing a new contract. Let that sink in.
It's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's absolutely crazy. Look, you got to remember, in football, we're all the problem. We all pay BT Sports, Sky Sports. We all pay to go and watch the games. We all buy the merchandise. The money in it is ridiculous. And that's the way it is. We can't all claim to love the sport and then all hate, but the money. We're part of it.
Yeah.
We're all part of it.
let's be fair. There's a reason why football there's so much money in football, because everyone watches it. If everyone watched polo would be the highest paid sport in the world, but no one watches it. That's why it's not. It's madness. We're so football fans are hilarious. I love football fans.
I can see the people who don't understand football clubs and their workings. It's okay. Like Matt and Eugene are perfect examples. So now we're going to make a profit on Bentoncourt. No one said we're going to make a profit, but you know what? Don't let him go for free.
Yeah.
Why? Don't let footballers go for free if you can get some money. See, no, sorry, I've got to call this out. See, this is just pure. Sorry, Eugene, this is crazy, right? A squad spot is more important to me. Right, let's have a look at this. So when you want Bentoncourt replaced, right? When you want Bentoncourt replaced, and people are going, where's the money? Well, I don't know. You want to let all the players leave for free. Like, you do realise when we sell players, that's how you buy new players. You do realise when you sell players, that's how you free up wages, right? For new players. That money goes on agent fees, transfer fees. It's absolutely mad. He's saying, read my previous comments. Savva, how much do you think we'll get for Bentoncourt if we sign him for 15 in his prime and can't even sell Basuma? The Basuma and Bentoncourt links have got nothing to do with each other. For all you know, next year, somebody from Saudi might come in and go, there's £20 million for Bentoncourt. And you go, yeah, I'm taking 20 million, but you would rather let him go for zero.
And also the notion about the reason why we couldn't sell Basuma has no relevance. The reason we couldn't sell Basuma is he wasn't fit. And football clubs aren't going to be buying a player in the last minutes of the window who is going to take weeks to get fit. They want players to come in immediately. It's the reason why it fell through with Galatasaray. Galatasaray said, this player's not at the level fitness-wise to hit the ground running. We're fine. We'll look for other targets. So they're not relevant. And let's be fair with it. This is the problem, right? People would happily let Bentoncourt go on a free, but then complain if we're not spending money to buy a replacement. You can't have it both ways. You need to generate funds to let players go to buy better football players. People think we have this endless pot of money. It doesn't work like that.
But listen, I'm so glad that people like Eugene don't run the football club. I like, you know, so we keep him on the books like with Ndombele. But Ndombele wasn't playing for us. Like, and Ndombele was on £10 million a year. Like, this is
they're two totally different things. And Ndombele was on such stupid levels of money and we couldn't get him off the books, right? We couldn't get him off the books because, one, he wasn't even kicking it up on loan at clubs. He was going out on loan and hardly playing. How do you get rid of a football player like that? I think it's really, really silly. Like, I just think, what are we doing? This is crazy.
So, Bentoncourt has made his transfer value back and then some more due to winning the Europa League and getting us European football during his time at the club. Now, Boris, this is something, again, fans don't take into account. When we bought in Rodrigo Bentoncourt and our midfield was Harry Winks, Skip, Sissoko, right? Bentoncourt was one of the driving forces behind us getting Champions League football, i.e., that got us Champions League revenue. So when we're going, oh, will we make the money back? People have got to look. I can't do this every week where we clearly don't understand. People clearly don't understand how football clubs work. Listen, there are players that will leave on a free, right? But surely Spurs aren't that stupid now. Surely, if I'm Vinay Venkatesham, who's now in charge, right? We all agree Vinay's in charge, right? Vinay's going to look at this and go, right, I've got Rodrigo Bentoncourt, whose contract ends in 10 months, right? Yeah. His contract ends in 9 months. Right, how old is he? Cool. Is he still playing for Uruguay? Yeah. Is he still getting games for Spurs? Yeah. Then why on earth am I going to let this guy go on a free? Yeah, let's sign him up and we either get a couple more years out of him, right? And then his transfer fee becomes irrelevant, what we paid for him. He'd have paid it back and some. Or in a year's time, 2 years' time, you sell him for 10, 15 million and the club makes 10 million money that it wouldn't have had. But we got fans going, oh, don't worry about it. Just let him go.
Or can we go back to a really simple point here, Savva? What if Thomas Frank wanted to Bentancur to sign a new contract?
Agreed.
Just because people in the chat don't rate, maybe the manager rates him and he goes, do you know what? I need someone like that longer term. I think we get so because we're so invested and we think, oh, well, maybe the manager goes, do you know what? Bentancur's more than just an average football player to me. I need a player like that in my midfield. Have we ever thought that, guys?
Can I bring the other thing as well into the room? The other elephant in the room. It's fair to say, right, that Paulinho at the moment isn't a full-time Spurs player. He's on loan, right?
Yep.
And that Basuma is surplus to requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Are those two statements true?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So if those two statements are true, then you have to ask yourself this question. If Tottenham had turned around and gone, no, we're going to let Bentancur go on a free, right? We're going to let Bentancur go on a free. That means Spurs leave themselves with not one senior pro in the squad, not one senior midfielder in the squad. And again, this is another thing that people don't think about, right? Him and Paulinho at the moment are the only two senior central midfielders we've got. And then you've got Sarr, Gray, and Bergvall, who are all kids, right? That's fair, right?
Yep.
So now you let Bentancur go on a free. Now, next summer, what you've got is you've got loads of kids, and now you've got to go and buy loads of senior pros to make up that balance. Why would I not want to keep a senior professional pro around the club, sell him at a later date, and give the benefit of his experience to the younger players? Why would I not want to do that?
Yeah. I think the interesting thing, though, with it, I mean, if we're talking about Bentancur, we didn't actually disclose the length of his contract extension.
Yeah.
Found that quite really telling. Like, it was new long-term contract. Well, what's a long-term contract? Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? We didn't actually disclose it, which is quite rare, right? Normally you disclose, it. And I think the key bit here, why would we want to let a player go for free? Like, we talk about, I think one of the key bits, Savva, I think this is the key bit. I think you made a point, that really, really good point, right, for me, was we need to stop letting players run down contracts. I think we're letting so many and letting players go on for, we can't just let players go out for free. There's only so much money that will last for us by letting players go out on a free every time.
Let me ask you, how much did Dele Alli go for?
Nothing in the end.
Right. How much did Ericsson go for?
Not 10 mil. It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a lot, was it? How much did Eric Dyer go for?
He went for nothing or very little.
How much did Ndombele go for?
I mean, we paid him a load of money to let him go.
How much did Lo Celso go for?
Again, 10 million, if that.
How much did Ryan Sessegnon go for?
Released him.
Right. How much did Davinson Sanchez? Do you see the point I'm making?
Yeah. I know, 100%.
The point is that fans go spend, but there isn't an endless pot of money. You have to generate money back because of FFP, right? This guy has got to be the stupidest person who comes on my channel. Why are you praising Vinay for extending Benton's contract to protect his value instead of demanding more? No, listen to what was said. Vinay is getting money in for the football club because fans like you want better. Fans like me want better, right? These are two separate things. If Vinay doesn't go and buy better midfielders in the summer, I'm going to be pissed off. But that's not determined on Bentancur staying. I genuinely don't understand how you don't understand how transfers and finances work. Matt, have you got a job? And do you have a bank account? Because if you do, I truly worry about you. Right?
Do you know what? Do you know what is worrying though? Like, it's a great point. Like, because when you actually look at our outgoings, right?
We don't need money. We did not need money. What?
We have no. That's not how it works. I wish.
Oh,
So, bear in mind our two best players. You would argue. I don't think we'd argue. I think it's probably fair. Our two best players on the last decade? Kane and Son. I think that's fair, right? I think it's Kane and Son. Kane, we got a big load of money for. We got 95 million euros for, and Son we got 22, right? Name me. These are in euros. Name me the last, apart from those two, that we got more than 20 million euros for. Euros, this is. Can you name the last 4 or 5?
no.
I'll list them. Oliver Skip, we got 23 million euros from Leicester. I'll keep going, and I'll tell you the next one. Steven Bergwijn, we got 31 million euros for. I'm keeping going. I'm still going. Kieran Trippier, we got 22 million euros for from Atletico Madrid. Ericsson, we got 27 million euros for. So we actually got more than I thought. And the fifth one was Kyle Walker, which was nearly a decade ago.
Wow.
Like, this is the key bit, right?
I just think what people have got to understand is just because the individual fan, might not rate a player doesn't mean, one, the manager doesn't, and doesn't mean, two, that the club want to let him go on a free. It doesn't matter who the player is. Right? I don't rate players like Brennan Johnson. Would I want Spurs to just let his contract run down? No. Sell him. Get whatever money you can get for him and invest it back into the football club. Same with Richarlison. I don't want to see Richarlison's contract run down. Yeah? But Bentancur's contract had less than a year left. You have to protect the value of the footballer. Plus, are we really going to leave our club with all kids in midfield? It's just.
I think the thing is people don't get it, right? People really don't understand how it works. Eugene saying we won't be able to sell Bentancur. Why? Why wouldn't we be able to? Why wouldn't we be able to sell Bentancur?
People want to buy Basuma and Richarlison.
Mate, I find it crazy. Like, no, Eugene, you're wrong, by the way. You're wrong on this. Lots of football clubs want Richarlison. The player doesn't want to leave. There's a difference, right? We had interest from a lot of football clubs for Richarlison. A lot of football clubs. We couldn't get rid of him because he went, I'm not going anywhere. I'm happy here. That's the difference, right?
But by the way, the revisionism is scary. We would have had Bastoni. No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. Bastoni turned us down. Let's not do this. Bastoni turned Tottenham down. He and his agent clearly said, I don't want to leave Inter Milan. Right? Oh my gosh. Honestly, it's hard work. It's hard work.
Also, the Bruno Fernandes thing isn't true as well, by the way. Like, it was in a totally different time thing. The Bastoni one, I remember me and you actually talking about the Bastoni one at the time. Everyone was going on about it, and I'm like, nope, never happened. He actually said, I don't want to go to Tottenham.
Honestly, we make fans just make things up nowadays. Oh, Bastoni was ours.
The revisionism is amazing, by the way.
Was he? Bastoni was en route. As I said at the time, why on earth would Bastoni have wanted to leave Inter Milan to come to Tottenham at that time?
Oh, it's funny. The Bastoni one, I love it. Jose could have wanted Bastoni. I wanted us to sign Lionel Messi.
Yeah,
that doesn't always normally work like that.
Yeah, I honestly. Anyway, I'll tell you what. As I said, over the years and working for professional clubs, I've had such an understanding more and more of how football clubs operate and what they have to do behind the scenes. And when I just got silly people saying to me, oh, yeah, just let him go on a free. You're like, yeah, that's not quite how it works.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Look, Perchy, I am going to wrap it up there. The Spurs 5 is going to be starting in a minute. Big up to Daniel Field, who put in the super sticker. Thank you very much, buddy. Really, really do appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much. Always been very generous to me, Daniel. So thank you for that. Look, Perchy's got a point there. You know, Conte might turn around and go, hey, I want Bastoni. But Bastoni don't want Tottenham. Like, there's a huge difference. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Guys, I've set the redirect over to the Spurs 5. Please join me over there right now. Perchy, thank you very much. Enjoyed it as always.
It's always a fun, these shows. We just chat about it. I think we just the best part about the show is there is no topic. We just go on for ages. It's all good fun.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, much love, guys. For anyone that watches, yes, Wales are beating Belgium. Joe Rodon with a header from a corner. Take care. Much love. See you on the Spurs 5 in 2 minutes.
We should have protected his value.